Me personally, I don't think Kazuya is an anti-hero. This man a flat out villain on me. And this guy, Arcade Knot, with his video on the tragic character of Kazuya Mishima, him being an anti-hero type video. I'm interested in it, and we're gonna react to it. Let's get busy.
貴様のせいで母さんは
Now this is some trauma
It
right
all
here,
started
bro.
decades ago.
Blame this
A
man.
bloody feud between a father and his eldest son. The world's largest military equipment developer, Mishima Financial Group's leader, Heihachi Mishima, against his own child son. They battle against
That's
each
a
other.
weird way of saying it.
Heihachi was ruthless, deadly against the kid. And by the end,
Yeah,
Heihachi Mishima threw his eldest son off the
yeah,
cliff.
the kid who's rocking
later-
the devil gene, my G. And I do know you understand that because you try to make it more sympathetic for Kazuya, but if Hayashi think that, hey, my son got the evil with him, you gotta go.
Off the cliff. Years later, the same kid, who supposed dead, was about to enter the tournament to have his revenge.
I ain't gonna lie, I can't. There's some different like lore changes. I don't know whether or not Kazuya was living on his own or he was still living with the hate like the Mishima estate or whatever. But the story goes, Heihachi picked up Lee Chalon like a one day type thing. He saw Lee busting out some crazy moves, crazy kicks, chow, and he have Lee Chalon to be Kazuya's rival. Now, understand this. I don't think it was even stated anywhere that he actually kicked out Kazuya from his house. If Kazuya want to come back, he'll come back. Hence why we saw the opening of Kazuya. I don't think, yeah. So let's someone please correct me in the comments, Mo. I don't even, you know what I'm saying?
This is the journey of Kazuya
No
Mishima,
doubt he was around.
one of the most iconic fighting game characters ever
But
designed.
why have Lei
I am Arcade
to
Knot
be
here, and
Kazuya's
with
rival?
Kazuya Mishima of
No?
Tekken series, I will begin to a new video series aside from making review videos or the recent analysis contents.
Cool.
I will choose a character, talk about its story, how it evolved and changed, from the very first title it appeared to the most
All right, I think I'm a little. I think the
been a
introduction,
staple
bro.
of the Tekken franchise. As the son of the primary antagonist Heihachi Mishima, Kazuya has a complex and a troubled past that has defined his character throughout the series.
And
Kazuya's sole purpose for
Ooh.
participating in this tournament
full of hate.
is to kill his father and to gain the power of Mishima Zaibatsu for his own. Although Kazuya faces many
Understand this, right? At this point in the story, even before all the Devil Gene crap, this was Kazuya. This is who he is. He ain't controlled by nobody. He ain't influenced by the Devil Gene to do bad stuff, right? This is all Kazuya. If anything, the Devil Gene just amplifies Kazuya's evilness. I think maybe even four. One can argue too, but I don't think so. Because why did Kazuya do some animal smuggling into? And then I thought, oh right, Raptor, Roger, super soldiers. Of course, Chris. Come on.
participants and his future wife Jun Kazama, he makes it
Whoa! Who said that Kazuya was married to June? Did I? I don't think I. Did I miss something in the lore? I don't think it's ever confirmed, bro. If that's the case, she'll be June Mishima. That makes sense. There will be Jin Mishima if they were officially married. And the timeline between June meeting Kazuya and Kazuya doing the thing with June, weird stuff. I don't know. I'm not gonna use that comic book, the old comic book for June and Kazuya meeting up. It's a weird one too, bro. There gotta be something that uh Heihachi gotta do. Not Heihachi, Harada gotta do because that meetup still doesn't make sense to me.
to the finals. against Heihachi. However, Kazuya has no
Go put his
interest
son on
against the
blast.
tournament prize money.
Oh,
He engages his father in a vicious, bloody battle to have his long-awaited revenge. And by the end of the battle,
shit.
Kazuya emerges victorious and proceeds to throw Heihachi's broken body off the same cliff that
What
Heihachi
payback?
threw Kazuya off many years ago, and smiles with his revenge completed.
Does this look like a good guy? Does this look like a guy influenced by the devil Jin? Or this is the man who's full of vengeance, just want to get back at his dad? Yo, I had some conversation with people on Reddit about this. Like, yo, oh, the devil Jin was messing up his brain. Like, no, it's just Kazuya. Even Harada said that regardless of the devil Jin, Kazuya is still a bad dude. Like, look at the reaction of people in tech and how they view Kazuya. They didn't see him as a good dude. He was a bad guy. Even though he's a big sneakerhead, still a bad dude.
Such a lovely father and son relationship we have. In the early Tekken games, before the third title, Kazuya was portrayed as a cold and a calculating anti-hero, and even can be considered as the villain at some point,
He
driven
is.
by his desire for revenge against his father. And a year later, by the sequel
I'm not gonna lie, people call him an anti-hero. Name one heroic thing he does besides being up his father, which is like, look, if you're gonna say, oh, he dethroned Heihachi from doing bad stuff, okay, he threw Heihachi off the cliff. What's so heroic about that? That's his father. He didn't have to do it. He did. That is not cool at all. Right? Bro is a villain. Bro is wearing purple, showing royalty. I like the white the shirt too. Like so it's like this impurity type beat, but it's like the nigga's mad. He smoked with animals, bro. He I think he put a hit on what Eddie's dad or whatever. I don't know. It's either like before or after Tekken 3. Mix of two. And not a good dude. Like I said.
we see Kazuya himself declaring the second King of Iron Fist tournament and taking the mantle which Heihachi used to have. As Kazuya defeated Heihachi in the previous tournament, and in doing so inherited all the power of Mishima Financial Group's head, he
Yeah.
now takes the pride in surpassing Heihachi's power. This time, he is the last fight of the arcade mode, and instead of Kazuya, we can now play as Heihachi himself to challenge Kazuya Mishima himself. Tekken 2 is also important as the timeline where Kazuya and Jun Kazama meet at some point. Jun
Some
Kazama
point.
also entered the King of Iron
Weird.
Fist tournament to stop the Mishima Zaibatsu's illegal animal trading. During this time, Jun became pregnant with Kazuya's son.
Just like that. Just like that. I'm not gonna lie. June is just a kind young woman. Did she really need to just get with Kazuya? Again, what does he see in this dude? He's corrupt. And if your answer is like, oh, he's a sad boy, I don't. That's just bad. That's bad. That's bad. Simple, but it's bad. It doesn't make any sense. Like, don't give me that kind of thing that he like. I'm not gonna lie. Even though at this point in the series, it's really hard for me to see June as a character, bro. A caricature, sure. A character, hardly.
When Jun entered the tournament, it is stated that
Like
she
nature,
was
like animals.
aware of an evil within Kazuya that she wished to free him from. However, Kazuya's hate and Heihachi's ambition were stronger. As the canon ending of Tekken 2, Heihachi emerges victorious, which would then lead to a similar outcome as before, as Heihachi throws the beaten up body of Kazuya to an active volcano, supposedly ending this feud for good. As Kazuya presumed dead, he never shows up in the third title, but later on will become the biggest threat to Heihachi by the fourth title. Although
I love
Heihachi's
Tekken
arcade story
4,
is
bro.
the canon one, We are talking about Kazuya here, so let's take a quick look at how Kazuya's ending actually is. Kazuya seems to
Yeah, I know
expelled
this.
and defeated the devil itself, and as he starts to walk away, devil rises and shoots Kazuya with a laser from its own eye. And what's surprising is that Heihachi jumps in front of Kazuya and blocks the attack, possibly saving his life. This act of Heihachi initially surprises Kazuya.
Look at this.
His
Look.
father's act of protection might be the first and the last affection of Heihachi to his own son.
This is
However,
non-canon, dude.
Kazuya shakes his head,
But
grabs
this
his
ending
father
shows that
and using him
Kazuya
as
is
a
just a
human
bad
shield,
dude.
and even throwing his father at the devil, finishing
Look
the
at this.
battle with a dragon uppercut. Kazuya smiles with satisfaction, having rid himself of both devil and Heihachi. Kazuya has the best smile.
How is he? He's an anti-hero, bro. He just took out two obstacles in his way. That's all it was. That's all. That's literally all it was. If if Kazuya won, he was still doing bad-ish, bro. He was still gonna be a bad dude. Still ruling the Mishima Basu. Would Jun even get with him, knowing that he's still a bad dude? Think about that. If Kazuya won Tekken 2, would Jun still be with Kazuya, or would Jun run away from Kazuya because he can't change, and will just protect Jin from Kazuya? I guess we'll never know.
In Tekken series, ain't he? In Tekken 3, Kazuya was notably absent from the game's roster, having
Obviously,
apparently been killed off in the previous storyline.
man, that dude
His son,
survived
Shin
that.
Kazama, was introduced. However, that's a
20
story
years.
for another video as we move on to Tekken 4. During Tekken 4, we learned that Kazuya was brought back to life by G Corporation, a biotech firm making revolutionary advances in the field of biogenetics research. Interested in the biology behind Kazuya's devil genes, G Corporation took his broken body at the end of Tekken 2 and healed him
A
back
few
for
days.
years. As
This man was chilling in the background. So by the time Tekken 3 happened, Olga was going crazy over the world fighting strong opponents. But I guess he didn't detect Kazuya because I guess he wasn't much of a strong opponent? I'm sorry, but how Olga tracks his opponents, if not by eyesight, is by feeling. And this dude had the devil chin. And the fact that he didn't detect Kazuya when he was around, even with the. You know what I'm saying? Like, explain that, bro. I love Tekken 4. But that ish with Kazuya makes zero sense. And I understand why people, like, have beef with this. And it's not with the ogre stuff. It's just Kazuya coming back in general. You know? They have Jin around, so why they need Kazuya type beat? But having Kazuya back with the devil makes sense. We don't at this point. It's not fully like explained, explored, like how like dense the devil gene is until it comes like a inherited power from Azazel. You know what I'm saying? So the ogre crap, bro, is like fuck, just stupid as heck. But does it make sense? Heck no. Fighting game, right? But it's still a story no matter what. And bad stories can make or break the enjoyment factor when you're consuming it as a customer.
as Kazuya also allowed this research to continue, as he also sought to understand this devil gene inside him. Losing all his power to Heihachi, Kazuya's new aim was to have G Corporation aid him against his father, and then the executive role that would help him to overthrow Mishima Zaibatsu. For the sake of his goal, he underwent G Corporation's experiments. Kazuya believed that these experiments would help him to understand the devil gene more and become stronger, and with this power to defeat Heihachi and destroy Mishima Zaibatsu for good.
Yeah, with this like lust for power, Kazuya totally forgot about June. It didn't even cross his mind like where she's at, right? When Ogre pulled up, like there's no way Kazuya doesn't know about Ogre, bro. There's no way he was a hermit and just doing all the experiment and not thinking like, oh shoot, oh we're going wild, oh we're going crazy, and oh shoot, freaking I forgot who it was. It was Kazuya or Heihachi that put Nina in a cryo tube and had weird dudes experiment on her to the point where one of them put something in Nina and out comes Steve. You know what I'm saying? Still messed up. Anti-hero.
And right at the
You're
start of
right.
Tekken 4, Tekken forces of Mishima Zaibatsu, under the guidance of Heihachi,
They were all wearing
attacked G
most
Corporation's
of them were wearing
facility
blue.
and discovered that Kazuya was indeed alive. Heihachi and Kazuya met each other after 20 years. And to lure Kazuya to face himself, Heihachi suddenly announced the King of Iron Fist tournament 4. Of course, Kazuya knew that it was a trap orchestrated by Heihachi to lure him out. Despite all of that, he accepted the challenge to finish this feud with his father again. However, his own son, Jin Kazama, also entered the tournament without knowing Kazuya's appearance. And in Tekken 4, Kazuya returned as a playable character with a significant redesign overall. He is now portrayed with shorter hair with a modern look, reflecting the game's shift in tone and aesthetics, while showing the devil gene of Kazuya through one of his eyes.
Shorter hair, huh?
Back to the King of Iron Fist Tournament 4, as Kazuya reaches the 7th stage,
They
his
look the same.
opponent turns out to be his own son, Jin Kazama. However, Jin never appears and it's announced that Kazuya moves on to next battle. Knowing this is all of Heihachi
Yeah, I know you're gonna talk about it, but yeah, he had Heihachi sent his boys after Jin, caught Burl lacking, and took him.
his own work, he moves on to final battle where he meets Heihachi. And canonically, in contrast to Kazuya's actual arcade progress, he loses this battle against Heihachi. He is taken to Mishima
Crazy, dude. And it's like, what is Kazuya just weaker, or did what Kazuya threw the fight? I just get it kind of sucks too. You would think that a guy who was just in the G Corps for 20 years was just get amazingly stronger. You know, I don't even know the routine of Heihachi or Kazuya when they they're training whatever. One can assume it's just Mishima training in the background or whatever, but I don't think it's confirmed nor denied, so it's whatever.
temple called Honmaru, where Jin was being held captive by Heihachi himself. Kazuya was initially surprised to see Jin chained up, and right at that point, the devil gene inside him explains that half of his lost power that's gone when Kazuya was thrown into volcano around 20 years before now resides within Kazuya's own.
Okay, happens because Jun and Kazuya got busy and it just flows out of the power of them just flow out of Kazuya just like that, bro. And I guess because of that, he lost to Heihachi. Half full. Could it be his pops back then? It could even be in Tekken 4, which is wild, bro.
Own son, Jin Kazama. Knowing that, Devil Jin knocks Heihachi out and then proceeds to attempt to acquire the Devil Jin from Jin. However, Kazuya takes control of his own body, merging their power to face his own son, Jin Kazama, for a decisive battle. So, according to Kazuya's arcade story, he successfully defeats Jin, obtains the devil power to control.
Okay, this is like a what if scenario when if Kazuya gets the power of the Devil Jin from Jin, then he just conquers the world. That's the scenario, but that doesn't happen. The canonical version is that Jin beat both Kazuya and Heihachi back to back. Wild. That's a feat.
Control it just like in Tekken 2, and then destroying Mishima Zaibatsu during that same night. However, according to canon story, Jin Kazama first beats Kazuya, and then his grandpa Heihachi turns into Devil Jin and leaves Honmaru for good. leaving beaten
This dude was
Kazuya and Heihachi
tired.
at the temple, which then immediately leads to this incredible scene, possibly one of the best opening cutscenes of video game history.
I'll never forget the fact that all the Tekken tournaments happened close to each other. That was wild. I'm talking about Tekken 4 happened. Like, that was the tournament. And after Tekken 4, Tekken 5, that tournament happened like what, a couple of days, couple of months afterwards, whatever. And after that, it's a couple of months after that, it was Tekken 6. And, jeez. They happened very close to each other, bro. That's what I'm saying. Not so much like 3. 3 is like, I guess like a couple of like 9 or so months out of that, so it's like out of the loop, so that don't count. Wild. Yeah, I know this. Like, this is a badass. This is badass. Like, let's skip to the fight. Yeah. This team up was badass. But skip a little bit. Yo. There's Raven.
Heihachi Mishima is dead.
While fighting alongside with his father Heihachi, Kazuya realized that the leaders of the G Corporation that sent the Jack Force squad were after him too. Kazuya determined to exact revenge on those who betrayed him and taking the leadership of G Corporation to his own hands. With the death of Heihachi Mishima announced and Kazuya planning his revenge, the King of Iron Fist Tournament 5 was announced by someone who has mysteriously taken over Mishima Zaibatsu. In Tekken 5, Kazuya's storyline became more complex as he was.
Alright, that okay, and look, I want to say this right now. I strongly believe that the story of Tekken peaked at 4 and it went downhill after 5. Because 5 made no sense. Look at how this is written. Damn, are they after me too? Because we don't even know why that's an effect. And Kazuya and Hachi fought as father and son. But Devil Kazuya flew away, leaving Hachi to die alone. I'm sorry, you told me that the devil just took over? Just like that? Just like that, he just took over. It's not like Kazuya, like, he saw this is like a waste of time. He got sacrificed his father and just did. But they treated this like, oh, Devil Kazuya. Oh, no, not Devil. Devil Kazuya. Devil just took over Kazuya and just did. And the freaking funny thing is, he transformed to his devil form here and dipped. That's the thing I just be forgetting, bro. Like, yeah, he can transform to devil fully, which is pretty badass. And that's the weirdest part. I don't know why they call him Devil Kazuya. It's weird. Just say Kazuya transformed to his devil form and flew away. Just say, or Kazuya betrayed his father, transformed to devil, flew away. You know, because G Corporation and whatnot. I wonder, did he betray him because he lost to Heihachi? Oh man, I forgot the reason, but I'm gonna check this. I wonder he
to
like
be the
mentioned.
biological father of Jin Kazama. This added a new layer of tension to his relationship with Jin, as they were now not only rivals but also father and son, which brings another bloody feud that needs to be resolved later on. Right after the battle at Honmaru Temple,
There's his
Kazuya
brother
enters the
Lee.
King of Iron Fist Tournament 5
I don't know if it
to
matters
track down
anymore.
those who betrayed him and to discover who holds the tournament. During the halfway to the tournament, Kazuya crosses paths with Raven, who recognizes him after seeing him flying away from Honmaru Temple. You might already guess who wins at this battle, I presume. Kazuya quickly defeats Raven and
I don't think this
interrogates him
happened.
about the G Corporation that betrayed him and learns that something was awakened beneath Honmaru Temple. It's quite sudden and a bit weird here, but Kazuya realizes what Heihachi has done and somehow speculates that it is his grandfather, the father of Heihachi, presumed dead Jinpachi Mishima, who is somehow controlling the Mishima Zaibatsu now. And here, the story of Tekken 5 meets two different outcomes, one being Kazuya's arcade story and one considered as canon, as Kazuya leaves the tournament to
Who
murder G
cares?
Corporation executives, to have the full control of the organization.
My nigga, that doesn't make sense. You can't just take over a company by killing the owners. Bro, the freaking companies were shut down after that. Investigated by whatever, the FBI of Japan or whatever. The country, something. G Corporation is still a legal branch. That's for some reason is just located in Japan. You know? Man, uh, uh, they just betrayed them off the win, dude.
However, according to the arcade story, he meets with his grandfather, greeting Jinpachi with respect, as Kazuya really
Yeah,
respected
respect.
and loved him, especially their trainings.
Yeah, he was nice to him. He loved him. He loved him. Kazuya saw him as a great parental figure in his life, unlike Heihachi. This is good stuff. I would love to have like a backstory with more backstory with Kazuya and Jinpachi. You know what I'm saying? We don't get that at all with Tekken 8. Jinpachi just no doesn't matter. He doesn't matter. You would think the kindness would like make sense to freaking Kaz, but he's so amped up and just obsessed with power that this doesn't even matter, bro. He's just consumed with it. Just consumed with it.
Comes to a conclusion, Kazuya holds the dying Jinpachi in his arms. As Kazuya tries to wake his dear grandpa, he smiles at his grandfather, remembering one of the few happy moments of his childhood. This is Kazuya we are talking about here. As he was remembering those days, Kazuya's expression suddenly changes, as one of his eyes turns red, executing his dear grandpa and turning him to dust. Kazuya
Power,
seems
bro.
even more ruthless and with more calculating demeanor than before, as he kills those from G Corporation, taking control and ordering from the shadows. However, the world of
The shadows? How that make any sense? Where is his figurehead? Where's his figurehead? If you controlling them from the shadows, we should know this. But in Tekken 7, it will show that Kazuya is the big boss. He just owns it. So people know who Kazuya is. He just took over. The guy who was just researching, figuring out, running tests, being an experiment, a lab rat for G Corp to like understand the Jevilgen, he just took over. And no one complained. No one, tried to take him out. No one trying to like usurp his power. He just took over. Like it's like some kind of king rule type thing. It's like this is a modern world. That don't work that way. And the explanation like why he did it is like so like little to non-existent really. Because he was still an asset to you guys. Like come on. But to make that like that cool scene make sense, they had to like have the Jacks come after Kazuya too, which also like crippled the story of like the reasoning for G Corp doing what they had to do. Still stupid.
Tekken is surrounded with chaos during the events of Tekken 6, as Jin Kazama becoming the leader of Mishima Zaibatsu and declaring war against the whole world. Although there is a motive behind Jin Kazama's decision here, the world engulfed by the flames of war. Meanwhile,
Yo, this looks horrible. From the outside look at it. Yeah, I know why Jin did what he did, but what did the world know? By some crazy new kid on the block controlling the Mishima Daibatsu decide to like control to declare war on the world just because. Just because. And I think they even explain like somewhere in the beginning like, oh, I'm just gonna declare the war on the world because the Earth is trash, like something like that. And it really is like, oh, I gotta smoke out this giant chicken. The only way I can do that is just like make a lot of noise as possible by just playing on the world and just fight everybody. And I'm like, I'm surprised that they have a lot of resources. Like, talk about the Mishima Basu versus the UN, including G Corp. You would think that they'll just get overwhelmed, but they didn't. They're still fighting hard. It's wild. And Lars, like, and his crew just left Jabasu because it was a stupid war. It's stupid. On paper, it's dumb. It made no sense. To them, they just think Jin did this for no reason. And when you hear the reason is still stupid. A giant chicken, right? Only the Delvin can take him out. But yet, Lars, that consists of Raven, was able to do that. Wild.
Kazuya sets out to use the military
Beat
power
him,
of the G
not
Corporation
smoke him.
to suppress the Mishima Zaibatsu, since he basically can't accept anyone but him to have the world dominance. The G Corporation became the symbol of
Funny.
hope against the Mishima Zaibatsu as they start to fight against Jin Kazama's forces. Kazuya uses this influence of G Corporation to announce a bounty for anyone who could capture Jin Kazama alive. And after hearing these events, Jin Kazama announces the King of Iron Fist tournament 6, just like
While
Kazuya had
the
predicted.
war is going
However,
on.
Kazuya does not have an important role in Tekken 6, nor in
So while you are let's say you're a participant, while you people throwing hands in tournaments, people getting freaking bombed. They're getting shot up everywhere. And people with a same constants, just throwing hands with your opponents. Just knowing there's bombs going off in the background. Ain't not even a little bit scared. The only person who would be scared of that crap is Fang Wei, Brian Fury, maybe Paul, maybe nah. Lars makes sense. No, Lars, because he's actually doing something. I'm like, if you, I don't know how you formed the Tekken 6 thing, bro. Like, the campaign makes sense. That's the story. But everything else, the tournament thing, even Tekken 7, bad, just bad, bro.
arcade mode. If I were to summarize it quickly, we learned that Jin declared a war against the world to summon an ancient evil power called
giant
Azazel, and was
Purple chicken. An evil chicken from ancient times. The originator of the Devil Jin. That's new information that you can, I don't know, or you straight up retcon it. Instead of like it being a genetic thing, so some supernatural crap, some omen type crap. Nah, some Egyptian chicken just appeared and just had the power, and he just spread that to his descendants or his like choosers of whatever. Suddenly he's just like sealed up by some whatever. Tekken 6 story is a whatever story. And that's mostly Tekken 7 story as well. At least Tekken 8 got some meaning, but it's 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 an bro. Brother What's that? What's that, brother? You think Kawada cooked with Tekken 8? Nah, bro. I'm telling you right now, he did not cook with Tekken 8. And this is the worst dish by none. Tekken 6 got the worst dish. Horrible story.
actually planning to destroy it to save the world. And during the final battle of
How does that make sense to you? I'm gonna summon this giant chicken to save the world by destroying the world too. As someone who enjoys stories, who even writes stories himself, you don't. I found something very wrong with that. Something wrong with that. That fundamentally bad. I think there was two ways to do this. Either with Jin's method or Jin Kazuya was just fighting straight up, and that would like be enough to like have Kazuya like be full power, just control everything, just freaking destroy everything. Excuse me, which is so. And what pissed me off the most is that they added the Exorcist, bro, Claudio. So that was like an afterthought, right? And Safina just a fortune teller. There was nothing else to do besides what? This what? This war, right? Even it was messed up. Even Zafina don't like Jin. What else could they do but that? Some of his physical form. Lars was touching him. He was fighting him. Raven too. That was physical form right there. Like what the horrible story.
Arcade, Kazuya fights against the Devil Jin and then manages to defeat his own son in
Oh my
devil
gosh,
form.
this is arcade crap. This is stupid. This is good Tekken 7.
Way, concluding the bloody feud between Kazuya and Heihachi Mishima. And during the events of Tekken 7, G Corporation and Mishima Zaibatsu's war was continuing, gradually starting to tilt in G Corporation's favor. And guess what happens?
Yeah.
Heihachi announces his return and the 7th King of Iron Fist tournament, as he claims the leadership of Mishima Zaibatsu in Jin's absence. As you can guess, Kazuya is not surprised that his father is alive after all, not even one bit. However, learning Heihachi is searching for Jin, Kazuya tells his subordinates to hasten the preparations for his plans, while sending...
I'm not gonna lie. If someone said, hey, why did the war start? What would be the answer to that? Just because, right? World domination, right? We were evil all along, right? In Tekken 8, they let them rock. They let them like have all their assets financials up and ready. That's Haibashu I'm talking about. Strictly the Haibashu. And not even what? What? The private company can't be touched by reasons that is just weird. Instead of like the whole nation of the world condemning the Mishima Zambashu and instead of shutting them down forever, they just let them be. Because G Corporation was like the new big bad. And they couldn't I guess didn't do anything. Not even the UN. Like wow, bro. For someone who declared that he gonna destroy his father and even the Mishima Zaibatsu, Kazuya did one out of the two jobs he's supposed to do. He took out Heihachi, not the company along with it. That was his. With G Corp, the most he will do is absorb it to him, bring all that to in the fold. If anyone who go against him, let them in. But I don't like them. I guess some of them. The Tekken 8 story got some issues too. Don't get it twisted.
his own Jack 6 army to spy and then kill Heihachi, just like in Honmari Temple.
Kuma.
However, this time Heihachi faces
Funny.
a different enemy, an enemy that most of you know from a different universe, Akuma or Gouki in
Really doesn't
Japanese.
matter. It really
Appears
doesn't
before
matter.
Heihachi Mishima and says that Heihachi's deceased wife, also mother to Kazuya, Kazumi Mishima, sent him to kill both Heihachi and Kazuya. Hearing her mother's name, Kazuya is surprised to hear her mother's name after more than 20 years, disbelieving that his mother would ever do such a thing. Right after this battle,
This is horrible. How did the company not go under because of this? Innocent people. This happened in the city. Innocent people was in that tower. People working for Kazuya. They were not evil. They was doing their job. And Heihachi killed them. The leader of the Mishima Zaibatsu had a freaking satellite to destroy the tower itself. And they didn't get nothing out of that. I don't care the private company. This happened in Japanese soil, my G. Really? Really?
Between two demons, Heihachi's death at the hands of Akuma is announced. Kazuya also doubts this, and after Heihachi, Kazuya was Akuma's next target, which leads to a decisive battle between a devil and a demon. Quite satisfactory to Akuma, Kazuya invites this demonic fighter to a battle.
What city was that? That definitely wasn't New York. It was some random city. And I just realized, was he still in Japan? Or was he in America? Where was Kazuya? I was sworn it was like in America, in Japan, but I guess it wasn't. It's like, and Mishima Jabachi was still around in Tekken 8. Somehow, it was still around. They had no leaders, just a bunch of old dudes still holding the reins because reasons. Crazy. Did he actually even had a will?
To death. You don't think Heihachi would miss this chance, right? Unbeknown to Kazuya, this battle was indeed a setup that Heihachi hoped for, as he broadcasted Kazuya's transformation to a devil live to the world, showing the true colors of the G Corporation, as Heihachi planned to take him down alongside with him, interrupting the battle between Kazuya and Akuma by obliterating Millennium Tower with Zaibatsu's space laser. However, Kazuya survives that.
Oh, right, don't forget. This is the part where the story of Tekken where you're supposed to sympathize with Heihachi. He did all them bad things because his wife Kazumi was a devil inheritor, and by proxy, Jin and even no, not yeah, Jin Kazuya, yeah. So Kazuya and bringing down to Jin. So everybody in the people like the family got the devils. You know what I'm saying? So which was messed up too because yeah, spoilers for Tekken 8. I already spoiled most of it. Yeah, Reina got the devil Jin, and all the ways you got unlock it was just simply just taking it, right? But she wouldn't do that unless she knew she had the devil Jin. But how would she know that? And the funniest thing I found about the dialogue between her and Nina, look on my channel. I already have it, like the war thing. What part 10? Um, Nina said you're Mishima's. She didn't say Heihachi. You said you're Mishima's, and I thought, okay, she was the former Heihachi was her former boss, and it makes sense to like reference him as Mishima because they're not personal. They don't. You know what I'm saying? It's a business thing. So she said Mishima's. But the only thing I think about is like she could have been Kazuya. Now how that makes sense? 20 years is a long time, man. Kazuya probably found somebody and just got buddies with her, you know. Forgot about June. Making Kazuya a piece of garbage.
Attack with a ruined reputation of G Corporation and Mishima family. With his unending rage, Kazuya shoots a devil laser at Heihachi's satellite, causing it to plummet down to Earth and destroying an entire city, forcing Heihachi for a final clash that would end with a death. And just like in Tekken 1 and 2, although both Kazuya and Heihachi were giving their all, Kazuya's hatred towards his own father was stronger, as he was reminded of his childhood trauma of being thrown off the cliff by his own father.
Oh boy.
Kazuya gathers the remaining last strength he has and delivers the final blow, concluding this feud between son and father by throwing his father last.
Don't doesn't matter. This is what it is. He is not a tragic hero of any kind, right? He is a villain through and through. Understand all the evil stuff he did from Tekken 1 to even 8. War crimes. Oh no, war crimes. This man should be facing capital. You know what I'm saying? Give him the chair. You know what I'm saying? Give him the chair. So all that BS, bro. Anti-hero. What heroic stuff he did? What did he do? It's just so heroic. All the things that Kazuya did was for himself and nobody else. And whatever relationship he had with June was like, to me, seemed like a booty call type beast, like a hookup. That's how it felt. Like, how can you like develop a love story in a short time frame to like they hit a one night stand? My G, come on, Rock. It made no sense. It made no sense. And whatever Tekken 9 gonna happen, or whatever the DLC story expansion gonna have, I guarantee you it's just gonna be Eddie, Lydia, some other people too. Probably don't have nothing to do with June, even though it should. Cause why bring June back? You know what? Why have the stupid nobody to be the protagonist of Tekken 7? Oh, I lost my family. I'm sad. Worst decision ever. Like, and like I said, it tanked after 4. 4 was the peak, and decline happened with 5. It slowly just slumped down from 6 to 7. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm in the middle feeling with 8. I played the story. You know what I'm saying? That's some good stuff with the whole redemption arc type of thing and whatnot. I don't think it's like um deserved. Short lived, really. I didn't get enough of Jin. Like most of the people that Jin interacted with, he didn't even know like that. Like who's loyal to Jin? You know, who is Elisa? He's just a robot that he just made to like serve him. That's it. Nothing more. Did that feeling change to 6 months? For the past 6 months? Maybe. Like the freaking friction between Lars and Jin does dissipate over time, huh? Did Lee was a part of that? Because Lee is cool. Because last time I checked, I think Lee was like somewhat maybe in the way, like still a what a foster brother, foster like no, because the dude said Heihachi kicked him out of the family, so he's not like part of the family. But at least Lee should feel some familiarity, some like sympathy for Jin, because he know how Lee know how bad the Mishimas are, and he didn't even hook him up with nothing. He didn't hit him up for 3. Not 3. 3 makes sense. Nah, he didn't hit him for 4. He didn't hit him for 5. Of course, 6. 6 makes sense. Or even attempted to, or freaking 7. And I'm supposed to believe that Lee is just cool with Jin because of reasons? Come on, dude. That go for everybody else. How wrong. How wrong should hate Jin. Like now as like a rival, but like a person. I'm my dude. You could play a war on the wall to smoke a chicken, and you beat me up with your freaking demonic form. You're a freak. You. I don't. Yeah. I don't, can even how? It's a messy rivalry, bro, and it should not be that familiar, bro. It just makes no sense. It's just freaking weird. And Sayu will love Jin no matter what. No matter how many families he destroyed or how many towns he burned down, she still love him. Is it deserved? Heck no. Even the very end of Tekken's A story, I don't think the relationship of Sayu and Jin was deserved. It was rushed. Like everything else. If the Tekken 8 DLC story expansion even happens in, like sometime in the summer, I'd love to see what happens with Jin and Eddie and everybody else who wasn't even part of the story be part of the story, you know? So what are your thoughts, man? Well, how you feel about Kazuya being a tragic anti-hero, bro? Because he's a villain. Okay? He's a villain. But if you want to disagree, comment that disagreement down below. Like if you did this reaction. And subscribe for more reaction content on Chris the Chill. So I'll be out. So I'll be safe, be easy, and be chilled.